I get that question a lot. Why Sony? You know, I and as many of the artists I'm sure we've worked with, you name the manufacturers, we've worked with it.
I think it's pretty well known around the photo industry right now that they're really pushing the boundaries of what we think is possible.
My favorite Sony product of all time would have to be the Sony a7 II, because that was the very first camera that basically showed me that mirrorless cameras could do everything that I was doing with my older DSLR setup, and do it at a lower price, and do it at smaller size, lighter weight, and give me all these benefits and features that I've been wanting, but I didn't even know I wanted them.
The electronic viewfinder, it's put the digital in digital. Why should I look through a viewfinder that doesn't look anything like my photo's gonna look? Why should I not look it through a viewfinder that's gonna show me the photo that I'm about to click when I take it?
That gives me the ability to be able to use focus magnification to check and make sure that my subject is completely in focus, using a feature like focus peaking as well. I can upload straight from my camera to my phone using the Wi-Fi that's built in. Those are the features that I show people all the time, and they're like, wow, I didn't even know that I missed this.
There's so many features, you know, direct manual focus and focus peaking and the high ISO sensitivities on the a7S II, but the reality is it's about the size.
I was just tired of carrying that heavy equipment.
I think that cameras started to get really big and really bulky, and I don't know about anybody else, but I would shoot a 12-hour wedding and have to ice my wrists because they hurt so bad.
I say that and some people are like, oh, you know, the lenses are big, it doesn't make a lot of difference, etc. And then I hand it to them. I'm like, oh.
I just came off the Clinton campaign and everyone else is using ginormous cameras and I have this little like stuff.
It's smaller, it's lighter, it's more responsive, it's better in low light.
I'm usually in the middle of nowhere, I'm carrying all the stuff myself. And the difference between what I used to own weight-wise before I came over to Sony and these mirrorless cameras, absolutely phenomenal difference.
I got really injured in Iraq and I had almost had my leg blown off. I've had my knee reconstructed a few times. I've lost all the nerves on the right side of my body, and I've gone through, part of the reason I work out is so that my body won't fall apart. And the idea that I could still go trekking and climb a mountain and have 4 cameras and 6 lenses that actually fit into a backpack along with everything else that I need when I'm trekking is insane.
When I think about my equipment, my Sony kit is so compact and it's so versatile, and I can do almost anything with it. And you know, I know that when other professionals see me working in the field, they're very surprised always.
But what I love about mirrorless and about the Sony system specifically is I can configure it as small as I want. I can get a camera like the RX1R2, which is peerless in its size and quality, or I can take my A7R2 and put the 70 to 200 GM and have this nice system to shoot sports with.
You don't need a big hockey puck kind of big massive thing to make beautiful pictures. You can get it out of the sleek, small, lightweight equipment.
You can make just tremendous images. You have incredible dynamic range. And that's the whole point of why we do this, to reproduce something. We trek to a place you can't get to easily. But you're able to do it with this gear because it's lightweight. That's amazing. And to me, that's important.
I don't want to have a big camera and huge lens that draws attention to me because it changes the situation.
I think the sensor in the A7R2 is the best sensor in the world. I will put that up against absolutely any camera.
A few years ago, I switched to Sony because I just love the way the files look. There's terrific dynamic range. The colors look great.
The Sony bodies currently, you can put an adapter on them and you can use almost any lens on the camera. To me, is such an amazing sort of technological feat.
Sony gets it, but what does get it mean? To me, get it means it's innovation. It's doing something different.
Look at who's doing the most work, who's releasing cameras, who's really listening to customers, where the engineers are.
You know, they're this huge company, but they're really responsive to what the market is asking for.
Things seem a lot more stale in the rest of the industry. So I think for photographers thinking about coming over to Sony, know that it's never going to be a dull moment.
It's pretty obvious that Sony is putting a lot of effort into the research and development.
They're listening to the kind of lenses that people want. You know, they're nimble.
You know, every year they come out with a couple different cameras and you're just like, wow, you know, I can't believe that they were able to do this.
That's the number one thing I tell people. I'm like, when you take one of these cameras out in the field and you feel the difference and you see the weight difference and you feel how much more natural it is to shoot, it won't take you long to start thinking about switching over.